Amr, do you use any like you mentioned some interesting things like digital twin sensors, laser scanning. Do you use any other tech? Perhaps let's talk about robotics or stuff like that.
So we actually been when we were in a very early implementer of virtual reality, and virtual reality used to be really that big box that has a graphics card, and we said, wow, VR immersive experience, how it can get even better than that. And then we had the HoloLens and mixed reality, and they said, wow, we can't even get better than that. And we're using drones and laser scanners and robotics. So we're constantly evolving, but we never leave the VR. We still use the VR in our workflow.
So how do you stay on top of like what's new, perhaps, and what can we learn more? Like, what's your way of learning things?
There are multiple ways for that and multiple arrays for that. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that because it's a great point. It is a problem solver. We like to think as a problem solver more than anything, especially whether it's VDC or BMs. We are here as a problem solver. And one of the ways we do that all the time is through partnerships. We have strong partnerships in the industry that we have access to the latest and greatest. We're one of the very early implementers of digital twins. We are one of the very implementers of in the construction of model-based estimating, of robotic arms, all these different things. And one of the ways we do that through partnerships with great institutions and the great leaders in the industry, like such as Autodesk, Geospatial World, and other Built World, other places.
Very interesting. So you sound like a Shark Tanks in construction tech, a little bit. Like, how often do you have people pitching you with new technology, and like, do they fear you or do they want to work with you?
So we've been having wonderful collaborations within partnerships over the years. Like we are resident in the Autodesk Tech Center for 7 years, and through that we built partnerships with folks like Hologram Twin Build in Australia, a company like Howick in New Zealand. We built collaboration with software company in Canada. We have this strong partnerships that folks come and say, okay, we know you use the technology not just as you use it on your job site and you test it and you see how it will gonna work on real projects, real schedule, and that's how technology shine, and that we both learn as partners how it's gonna work.
How is technology actually used in AEC? In Corporate Innovations, we explore the innovation and implementation procedures used by those who actually use the tech on a day-to-day basis. Before we get started though, if you're a startup founder or operator responsible for innovation in your company, or you want a deeper, more insightful look into technology in AEC, you won't want to miss our newsletter. From deep dives into particular technologies such as AI, robotics, design, software, and so on. Hot takes from investors betting big in AEC technology, and advice on building tech companies, including the stories and takeaways of the most successful AEC technology founders. Head over to www.bricks-bytes.com and sign up today to get this exclusive material straight to your inbox. And now for the episode.
So, Amr, thank you for joining us as the Chief Innovation Officer at Windover Construction. Where is Windover Construction based, Amr?
So we are based, hello, Martin and Owen. So good to see you. Thank you for having me. Looking forward to a great discussion. We are based in New England, in Beverly, Mass, about half an hour from Boston downtown. We built around New England, and we have some projects in other states. We also have a global footprint with innovative technologies with our idea platform, which we're going to talk about shortly.
Of course. Are you guys, well, I guess maybe give us an overview. Are you like what's the business model? I appreciate you guys do construction management. Is it classified as a small company, big, medium, large, etc.?
We are a mid-sized construction company. We are an ESOP which is 100% employee-owned company. We have a focus. We build basically everything except hospitals. We build the schools, multifamily, senior housing, custom homes, life science, and we have a focus on the challenging projects. We are the go-to in New England for modular and prefab, volumetric modular. Over the years, we built this in-house expertise with modular construction, supers and great PMs who know how to build it modular. So we love a challenge, and with the challenging projects, we don't like to only build the simple projects. With the challenging projects comes the need for using technology to tackle these challenges.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to ask you, like, what's your angle? How did you end up being Chief Innovation Officer? Tell us a little bit about your background, maybe.
That's a great point, Martin. So I did my master in architecture at the Boston Officer College. Started my career designing public aquariums with a great prominent architect, Peter Shermaive, who designs the New England aquariums, Osaka Aquarium in Japan. I've been working with Peter and learning a lot from him on coordinating complex mechanical systems. What you see from the aquarium is really almost half of it. There is another half that deals with fishes and life support systems. It's a really complex building. And if you build an aquarium, you can build a public aquarium. You can actually build anything. So I learned it a lot. Nice. I was very fortunate to start my career that way with Peter. And then after the economy went down in 2008, 2009, not a lot of people wanted to build houses for fish anymore, for aquariums. So I moved to construction, and with that, I wanted to carry over my design expertise, all I learned about complex buildings, into the construction and the building of things.
Very good. So could you just tell us, Amr, about Windover, just to so people understand kind of the context of the company. What's the rough turnover and how many employees?
We have about 100 employees. We make about like 150 a year. We focus on the how we build, not basically what we build. So there is a lot of focus on the way we build things and approach projects, and that's why people we are very sought after in terms of when folks have a challenging project, like they have a tight schedule for a project they want to deliver, or complex geometries, or a really architect who has challenges for building something really unique. Among all the schools we build, we also have built trust over the years. For example, at Endicott College, in the last 15 years, we built more than 25 design build projects at that campus, basically building most of the campus and bringing the client vision to life. So a lot of our work is also repeat client, because we think in long term, and all our focus is really once we have a client, they are clients for a very long time. And that's our focus with partnerships, how to build partnership. Our focus is not only in BD, it's about building partnerships. And that's how we look at the construction industry.
So the segment that you are in, is it very competitive, or you don't feel that there's lots of competition within your segment?
Absolutely. The industry is very competitive. But one of the things that we like to think, setting us apart, is really the way our team work. We deliver projects for people, very special places that bring people together. Their schools, their homes, their labs, and our team has been known always as the good people. And our focus, you would notice if you're familiar with Windover, of course, is building great things with great people. So there's a really big aspect of construction, of technology, is about the latest technology, latest innovative tools, but there is also a big pillar to that, which goes parallel to that, which is the people aspect. If you don't have the people who are authentic, who have integrity, who are focusing on delivering the best interest for the client, and you have all the tools in the world, you're not going to deliver the quality, or maybe people will use your service once and not come again. And that's not the case at Windover. We like to always stand in client shoes and make sure that they're going to come back many times when they have future projects.
Okay, so I wanted to touch on the innovation slightly. Like, what's your annual growth, and how do you measure growth? And is any of this attached to the innovation, you think?
So we noticed that one of the things we use innovation for is really, and our approach to innovation is really focused on using tech-first solutions to tackle challenges on job sites. Martin, my team as an innovation group and VDC team, we spend a lot of our time with the field team, listening to the challenges they have on site on daily basis, and leveraging meeting here and making sure we use all the tools and the technologies and the innovative solutions to tackle that specific challenge. Every project is different, but our focus in innovation is really not to have all these solutions for problems that may come. We actually go listen to the folks on site. I spend most of my time on job sites, not in the office, to learn about those challenges and respond to it. And that's the way we use it on our brick and mortar company, which building, as well as our idea platform, which is focusing on also spreading these services to our peer groups, to our design partners, and actually to governments around the world. We've been hired by the UAE municipality to solve their automation with code compliance and check, and we used BIM, generative AI, generative design to solve these challenges. So all our work is really based on the challenges, whether it's in a brick and mortar or in an innovative solution. And that helps us not only with growth, which is in business or any business, it's like an escalator. If you don't grow, you shrink. And we have seen growth. Our focus, first of all, growth comes anyway, but when you work hard and you deliver in quality, but our focus is not always only about the numbers. It's really about the type of work. We are not looking to do like a warehouse, or we love that if you've seen beautiful buildings at Dartmouth College that has all these beautiful features with terracotta walls, all these details of building humane buildings that bring people together. We worked with some of the most prominent architects, and we love that challenge that comes with these projects, not simple projects.
So Amr, your innovation process then, what I got so far was that you spent a lot of time speaking to the guys on site. So guys on site or in the field, they say to you, Amr, for goodness sake, I keep running into this problem. What happens after that? Like, do you then, maybe just talk about that.
Hey listeners, I want to take a quick break to remind you about the Bricks and Bytes newsletter. If you're interested in learning about the technology shaping the future of construction, you won't want to miss the valuable insights we share each week. To get this exclusive content delivered straight to your inbox, head over to www.bricks-bytes.com and sign up today. Link is in the show notes. Back to the show.
You're bringing up a great point, Owen. One of the good things about Windover that we started about 7 years ago is to adopt a mindset of innovation. What I liked about when we introduce new technologies to our field teams, that, as you know, they don't say, we've been building this for 50 years the same way. They embrace new ideas and new technologies. And it really takes the whole company. It's not like the innovation group is working in a vacuum in a corner with all these nice drones and all these laser scanners. And no, it's actually embedded into our workflow from the life cycle of the project, from the time we going after a job to do 4D planning, to communicate to people who are not necessarily BIM expert or even architects, the client who doesn't know, as you and I know, 3D very well. So they want to visualize how we can care about their safety, occupied campus, storytelling of how we build the project. It's funny, I did a panel discussion once in New York in 2019 with the director of Finding Nemo from Pixar. And we talked about the similarity of using technology, all these beautiful movies Disney creates that my kids and everybody loves. They use things like 3D Max, Autodesk 3D Max. And in construction at Windover, it's a standard for us to do 4D animations, 4D planning to tell a story how we're going to build a building from foundation to steel to completion, and show the logistics and safety planning all in 3D Max too. So it's funny how we use that. So anyway, we do that at the beginning of the job. We also do laser scans through different intervals of the site. So when I sit down with with a field team, and they come with a challenge, and they say, "Oh, we have this facade, and we don't know how to replicate it. We know that we are capable of laser scans. We are also residents at Autodesk at Texano and Boston. We do a lot of prefab with 3D printing. So, okay, if we do laser scan with additive manufacturing, we can combine these technologies and provide the exact replica of this historic facade or 5-axis rotor or whatever." So we listen to that challenge, and we respond with different technologies that work together to solve the problem. And the most important thing is that the PM, it's a real project, it's a real schedule, a budget. It has to make sense. Innovation is innovation when it's providing one of the following: either cost savings, high quality, or saving time on site, or improving safety, of course, is number one. But if it's not providing any of these, it's just being cool. So we have managed to stop testing and start implementing. And one of the reasons we do that is really the embracing. Our teams embrace that and say, when they get this call, they first know that they need to call because they have the capabilities in-house to do that with our team in-house. And the second thing, when we suggested these new ideas that we're going to do cut and fill analysis with the drone LiDAR in half an hour, going to get them all their data, they say, no, we're going to get the ground team to do that in a week. So that embracing of innovation from the throughout the layer and life cycle of the project is really what's making us shine in that regard and make things happen.
Yeah, there's so much to unpack there. Oh my goodness me. So first thing that comes to my mind is a few things. You mentioned that you work with, so someone approaches you with the problem, and then you already perhaps know what not know what the solutions are, but you know where to find the solutions. One being like your suite of Autodesk tools or whatever it might be. Yeah, could you talk to us about how you find out about these solutions that you're offering to the people that are having the issues on site?
Yeah, have you done similar project in the past, or you like doing a research on how can you tackle a problem?
So the different ways we've been doing that. We, first of all, at the Windover VDC team here, we learn something new every 6 months. We actually doing things like one story when we got approached by, because Windover got recognized globally for the innovation work, innovation in construction. We got reached by the UAE government. Some folks from a UAE municipality reached out and said, we have a challenge. We have a challenge that 60% of our built environment, I'm not talking about the beautiful towers designed by the best architect in the world there. I'm talking about the low-rise villas, about the commercial low-rise buildings, constitute 60%. It takes time to do the code compliance for it. It's very overwhelming because small architecture firms would submit it in 2D, not 3D. So you don't have a lot of data to navigate, and you have this overwhelming for our municipality staff. So before that, we didn't think about developing that challenge, but it was presented to us. We know, we are experts in BIM. We know generative design very well. And with a little bit of AI enablement, we can automate these processes, and that they could take minutes instead of days. And what we did is that we did the automated plan review systems that Windover has a patent for, is that we combine some of the technologies that's already there, like generative design from Autodesk, combine it also. We worked on a year and a half on a robust script that turned any 2D drawing to a 3D model with just one-page guide that anyone, even architecture student can follow to draw it. And then we took that and built the UAE code to check for automated code compliance check. So that's a challenge. So we did that. If you ask me a year before that, would you do with this solution? I would say, I don't think so. And why? But we only did it because of the challenge presented to us. Measure on that on anything on site when we go or visit with clients. We learn every 6 months something new in terms of the latest. The innovation is not really about the latest drone or the latest scanner or the latest technology. And if I hear all the time that folks are focusing on AI as a one silo technology. The power of AI is really, as much as anything else, like VR, XR, is really combining it with other technologies to solve a problem. So that's how we approach innovation.
Yeah.
How big is this team that is evaluating different options and is coming out with the solution?
We have a 6-7 at Windover. We like to focus on mostly architects. We focus. We think we do a lot of MEP BIM coordination as well. It's a standard for us at Windover that all of projects are BIM coordinated. And what's unique about, and we have our MEP experts in house, and we focus on folks who would do BIM coordination, for example, between design drawings and just the MEP models. What we do is that during different intervals, we do use laser scanners to detect in real time what's happening on site and overlay it with quality control QC overlays in Navisworks, for example, to ensure that what we are coordinating is actually presented on site. We had a beautiful project at Tufts University that we renovating a building, a 100-year-old building. We're renovating, and we made sure that during different intervals of the coordination, we laser scan on site to ensure that whatever we're coordinating will fit perfectly on site. So we do a lot, like we do MEP coordination, that team. We do in-house the reality capture laser scans. We invested in LiDAR drones to capture not only beyond the eye in the sky, beyond the picture and georeferenced pictures. We do LiDAR, which saves a lot of time. We do virtual reality and extended reality. There's a lot of broad array, but the power here, what's really unique is that we combine these different tools for one problem to solve one.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, because this UAE municipality problem was kind of very particular one. Same with this facade issue that you mentioned earlier. Do you very often find working on I don't know if it's the right word, singularities or problems that do not repeat?
That's a great point, Martin. And that every project we work on it from even in a brick and mortar essence. We have modular projects that has different needs of coordinating what built in miles away versus what's going to be on site. Like any modular project could have a podium or foundation, and you build in Quebec all these boxes, and when they arrive, you have to coordinate it perfectly so they fit. The vertical shafts for the MEP will fit perfectly on site. And that's very tricky because if it's not done right, it diminishes the whole purpose of modular saving time. So when Windover has managed to have the standards for using technology to ensure we coordinate, when you're building these boxes on site, it's going to fit perfectly on site to complete the whole benefit from modular. But you see, every project is unique. So for that specific code compliance automated plan review system, which is called BIM-AI in UAE, we have interest from other municipalities in that region and in the US to do that more, but that's unique. But it's usually some of the projects. We did a beautiful cut and fill analysis for a developer from Dubai. We did a beautiful cut and fill analysis all in Autodesk Civil 3D to help them calculate all the cut and fill. So that's a unique project that we didn't do for a while. You have the modular has needs, the prefab has needs. We use technologies that's used in manufacturing to do digital prefabrication, basically, with these facades or these stud walls. We use things like Inventor and Fusion, who is traditionally used for car manufacturing and other manufacturing software, but we use it in the EEC industry. I'm a big believer in cross-industry innovation, that then a technology that's working in another, like aerospace, like digital twins. We didn't even talk about digital twins. Windover was the first implementer, one of the very first implementers of the Autodesk Tandem technology with digital twins. We did the campus at Endicott College with IoT sensors to feed real-time data and streamline the facility management. This is a technology that's been used in aerospace and used for years in other industries, but we're finally getting it to streamline and enhance construction and handover, solve the gap between construction and the handover. So yes, every project is unique, and that's what actually makes it not boring. One of the exciting things that excites me about coming to work every day is that it's not the same thing over and over again. We have every day a new challenge, and it's very rewarding when you use the technology along with the whole team, not only the innovation group, the whole project manager supers to make that work and solve the problem.
It sounds like you guys are special task kind of
Yeah,
forces.
special operation forces.
Navy SEALs of construction.
Yeah. Amr, do you use any like you mentioned some interesting things like digital twin sensors, laser scanning. Do you use any other tech? Perhaps let's talk about robotics or stuff like that.
So we actually been when we were a very early implementer of virtual reality, and virtual reality used to be really that big box that has a graphics card, and we said, wow, VR immersive experience, how it can get even better than that. And then we had the HoloLens and mixed reality, and they said, wow, we can't even get better than that. And we're using drones and laser scanners and robotics. So we're constantly evolving, but we never leave the VR. We still use the VR in our workflows. We've been doing digital twins recently is a huge part for us because our focus is really repeat client, right? Our focus is really to keep clients happy and they get the best of the industry, of what's available in the industry. So what we did with digital twins is that we had a campus like Endicott College. We thought it's a great added value to hand over these. For years, we handed them BIM or a Revit file. They are not BIM experts in the facility management. They're not going to use it. So with a little bit creativity, we were able to show a web-based platform that can empower them, has all the ON manual information, all the IoT sensors for real-time feed to help streamline decision-making for operation. And then that was an aha moment for them. Wow, we know that exists. So we constantly evolving the technology we use. Robotics, we used it with Autodesk Tech Center. You have the robotic arms with the diamond cutter. You can make any shapes. We use the machines like the Howick machines that have automation. We created 1,000 roof truss for a building in 15 hours only, using the fusion model and the automation. So we've been working on automation for years now, and we feel that the future is really about automation, automating processing and empowering, even for estimating workflows. We're the very first implementer of Autodesk Takeoff, which actually it automates the quantification. So when an estimator comes and is looking at a job, how much it will cost, with now the design models are very mature, has a lot of data. With few clicks, you can have an Excel sheet that has all the quantities instead of going and measure everything in 2D and that. And they were like, wow, like this saves days or a day of an estimator going measuring things. They can have it in a couple minutes. So automation doesn't have to be only in the prefab and the hardcore part of the business. It could be also on very small things that could make our teams focus on what really matters, their expertise with estimating, their expertise with PMs, stuff like that.
So when you have people coming at you with problems, and I guess there's no time, or a customer is coming with a problem, a new customer, a repetitive customer, there's no time to research new technologies and have a think, or how can we tackle it. You must have come across these technologies and you probably have a solution in mind, or trying to figure out like what's the exact way for us to tackle it. So how do you stay on top of like what's new, perhaps, and what can we learn more? Like, what's your way of learning things?
There are multiple ways for that and multiple arrays for that. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about that because it's a great point. It is a problem solver. We like to think as a problem solver more than anything, especially whether it's VDC or BMs. We are here as a problem solver. And one of the ways we do that all the time is through partnerships. We have strong partnerships in the industry that we have access to the latest and greatest. We're one of the very early implementers of digital twins. We're one of the very implementers in the construction of model-based estimating of robotic arms, all these different things. And one of the ways we do that through partnerships with great institutions and the great leaders in the industry, like such as Autodesk, Geospatial World, and other Built World, other places. That's one way. The other way is really about, it's a mindset of innovation. How we have that mindset of embracing new ideas. And to be honest, taking intelligent risk. One of our Windover pillars, we have like stand in their shoes, and one of it stand in the client's shoes, basically. One of the ways we think about it is taking intelligent risk. It's a big part of our culture and make it better. But the most one I really like is taking intelligent risk, because when we decide to make these technologies, some other folks might think about the risk more than the opportunity. What we see it is, okay, we're going to take the risk. It's a real project. Many of these innovations was a real project, has a tight schedule, and has, and believe it or not, smaller projects or mid-sized projects are the ones that cannot afford more the risk than the big ones. The bigger ones, you have room for missing walls or missing thousands here and thousands there. But you have a smaller project, the risk is huge for the client, and we want to mitigate that risk with innovation. So one of the things is taking intelligent risk. And with that is that we embrace new idea. We know we're going to learn, like this facade, first project, we did it twice. We learned it, a learning curve. The second job, we did it once. So we have a culture of R&D, a culture of that if something doesn't work, we're not going to point fingers. What we're going to do is that we're going to learn from what happened, and we're going to ensure that next time this doesn't happen again, and we're going to make it even work. And that's taking intelligent risk. I think the key here is that we take risk in real projects, and we make it work through hard work and vision for the future.
Very interesting. So you sound like a Shark Tanks in construction tech a little bit. Like, how often do you have people pitching you with new technology? And like, do they fear you, or do they want to work with you?
So we've been having wonderful collaborations within partnerships over the years. Like we are resident in the Autodesk Tech Center for 7 years, and through that we built partnerships with folks like Hologram Twin Build in Australia, a company like Howick in New Zealand. We built collaboration with software company in Canada. We have this strong partnerships that folks come and say, okay, we know you use the technology not just as you use it on your job site, and you test it and you see how it will gonna work on real projects, real schedule. And that's how technology shine, and that we both learn as partners how it's gonna work. So how often, first of all, I'm responsible for evaluating what's out there and what's the technology. I'm always for the new technology. What is technology basically? Technology is applying the knowledge, okay, to solve a problem. You have tools, and I don't like to call it tools. I like to call it technology because it's a more representing word than just a tool. The drone is not a tool. When you add LiDAR to it and it capture real-time data, all these data that could support for quality control or capture data that can quantify things and save money. That's beyond the tool. Beyond the tool, it's about the build. So one of the ways I look at the technology when we have technology approach us, or we seek it, because we are very up there with the technology. We know what's being developed. We have access, like digital twins. When it first came, we found it an opportunity to solve the gap between construction drawings and handover process. We know very well what makes Windover is really unique in terms of providing even technological solutions for others, is that we are builders. We are familiar with the problems that happens every day in construction, whether it's from permitting problems, challenges, and from other things that's going on. So that's what makes us unique, because we are not only a tech company, we are not only a builder, we actually have both sides and all under one umbrella, which is the most important part, which is the people part and embracing new ideas.
Amr, do you use any kind of like software to keep track of all of the innovation initiatives that you guys are running? How do
Not
you manage that?
necessarily.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah, interested. Yeah. No, just a curious question. Can you tell us? I would like to hear more about the idea platform, and then I would like to dive into your implementation, because someone said something to me, and it really stuck with me, and it was that the best innovators are actually the best implementers. So, yeah, let's go to idea, then we'll go to implementation.
So idea platform stands for innovations for design, engineering, and automation. What we've been doing since 2019, we launched that in 2019. We got recognized for multiple Autodesk Excellence Awards, global awards, 300 projects from around the globe, and our projects went for using technology to provide value. So then we got reached from architects and peer group companies, some of them is construction companies, saying, can you help us with projects with the laser scan, with the BIM coordination, with all these different technologies, even before construction began? Because we are an architectural office who was looking at this historic building in Pennsylvania, and we want to capture it and create a very accurate existing condition model for it. Can you help us? And we said, okay, sure. And then over the time, this became a lot of requests. Then we launched that idea platform, which is basically our way to extend our technology and our innovative solutions to the broader EEC industry and help push it forward. We do BIM coordination for some other friend construction companies in California, for example. That's our way to push the industry forward. And we do this for the partnership, for the innovation, for learning. Actually, we learn a lot with doing these projects that could impact our brick and mortar, because we learn how to build different things in California, and we do things something with between BIM and machinery in Australia and Melbourne. We learn a lot in that, and that's one of our ways to learn too. Sorry, what was your other question about implementation?
Yeah, we can go to implementation. Yeah, so just talk to us about that. Is there a process that you guys follow? Because I appreciate this is probably one of the hardest parts. You found the technology, and it's like, okay, how do we get everyone to actually use this thing?
So implementation, as I said earlier, it's about stop testing, start building. One of the focus, we can talk all day long about how digital twins are very useful to build a smart canvas, but unless someone takes the risk on a real project that has budget and just to apply it and say, okay, you know what, from day one of that project, we know we're going to deliver at the end of the project a digital twin for that client. And what makes a digital twin, not a 3D model, is the data embedded to it. So from day one, we're going to collect all this data to deliver that information-rich digital twin. We're going to have the fully coordinated MEP, and we're going to do whatever it takes at the beginning of the project to have this accurate models, which reflect positively on the build, by the way, because when you do, you're going to do a digital twin at the end. So you do a very good job in MEP BIM coordination. So that reflects positively on the project and the mitigating risk and no surprises on site when you produce pipes and ducts. And then you have those BIM coordination, and we're going to say, okay, instead of delivering that very boring books or PDF sizes that has all the MEP coordination, all the O and the M manual data, we're going to deliver it within the geometrical representation of the model. So at the fingertips of the facility managers, they can go in their office and navigate through any room, and they click. They have rich information, rich data about any equipment or air handling unit, and we can train them very easy to manage that for years to come, to empower them for years to come. If they replace an air handling unit, they can go by themselves and replace it. They don't have to call Windover all the time. So you see how we are helping transform the industry, or even with facility managers. And then we took it a step further. We say, okay, IoT sensors. How are we going to implement IoT sensors? We had no idea when we started about that. But we say we'll learn it with our partners. We'll learn how we're going to implement it. Our VDC team, not sitting there. We sent it at our teams. They are able to do it themselves and learn how to do it. Took time at the beginning. Next building, it was easy. It's all about doing things and connecting that to the 3D model. So you have a a real-time feed of occupancy, CO2 emissions, and how the equipment perform in the building. That's the implementation story, is that we take a project, and my advice really, start small. You don't have to do your first technology super duper idea on a big project. Just select a smaller project, apply it, and you're going to learn a lot in it, and then you're going to take it gradually, and you bring everybody together. Our focus is not only to transform the mindset for our VDC team or our company as a Windover, including the project managers and everybody. We also look at it as a community with our trade partners, how our trade partners would work when we do all the BIM coordination. How our clients also, it's about the community. When we do BIM coordination, you have all kind of trades. You have trade partners for MEP, electrical. If the fire protection is not modeling in BIM, we don't leave them behind and say, oh, we're going to do the 3D coordination only with the duct and plumbing. We say, okay, our team is going to take the initiative. We're going to model it for you. You still need to sign it off because you're the expert in fire protection, but we all doing this together. We're going to all do it 3D. And this is one of the ways we've been able to push innovation, not only in our company, but with our trade partners. Because if you're doing great, if you're innovating, we're also innovating. It takes a village to innovate in this industry.
How do you enforce this? How do you enforce this culture? Like, what's the way?
You bring up a great point, Martin. We never enforce anything. We lead by doing. So we're gonna do this here. Okay, don't worry about it. You don't have the capability to 3D model it in fire protection. Don't worry about it. We're gonna do it with you. We have the capability. A VDC specialist or coordinator will spend a week or two modeling all these different pipes for you. That's fine. We're gonna model it and we're gonna coordinate it, and you're gonna take a part of that BIM coordination, similar to every other trade who did it. But still, you need to sign off, tell us, yes, this is in the right spots and stuff like that with your expertise. But that's how we've been pushing innovation internally and externally, is really not by mandating things, but rather doing it, show the value of it, even if on a smaller scale. And people, the aha moment is always, yeah, if they did that, I can do that. One of the things we have a standard before closing up ceilings and walls is that Windover team scan for asphalt. So 10 years from now, the client to know what's behind each room and stuff like that, to empower their facility manager in the future. And then when we're doing modular, it's hard to do that, right? Because you manufacture these things miles away. It's not on our job site. So what we did is that we would introduce this to our partner who is doing modular, and you say, you know what? We do this in a traditional build, and we do a lot of modular at Windover as experts in modular. We said it would be really wonderful if we capture every box as it being made and deliver that to the client, so they know what's behind ceiling and what's in every modular box. Mm-hmm. And since then, we did it in our project, and our partner modular project is doing it even on other projects that's not Windover projects. So you see how we can impact how our industry will work with putting best practices in place, not by mandating, but by doing and showing the value.
Mm-hmm. Leading by example.
Exactly.
I wanted to ask, what's your view on the state of innovation from a time perspective? Like 5 years, how was it 7 years ago, 5 years ago, and how is it now? Is it accelerating or is it kind of steadily growing?
I expect it to accelerate even faster. As I mentioned before, we're very early implementers of VR, and then we had mixed reality, and then we have now XR, we had drones, where these are scanners, but it accelerates very quick. But as long as we're using all this, it's an accumulated process. I believe always that science and art and anything that we learn to make our lives better and everybody's lives better is an accumulated process. We can't just start from scratch. That's why I believe that AI is going to shine even more and be really useful for folks when it's combined with other things, like with mixed reality, with other technologies. Because one of the ways with that is that you have years, whatever the years, to develop a certain technology. It matured and it become really useful for folks to use every day. Like we use VR all the time now in our projects to communicate and to even select the materials for our clients. But
Not everyone
piece-
does that. Not everyone does that right now.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. It takes also special skill sets because you have the 3D Max, you have the Unreal, you have the applying the materials. Folks think that BIM is only like, it could be BIM coordination or something for mechanical rules or something. BIM is beyond it. That's why we call it virtual design construction, whatever. The innovation part encompass, the VDC encompass a lot, anything that has to do with removing any surprises on a job site. That's how we approach it, is that we are here to mitigate risk, ensure that no surprise on site, and whatever is designed is preserving design intent is a huge part. One of the big things we do always is QA/QC. We had beautiful, unique stair at Endicott College, at Dartmouth College. When we're doing those beautiful stairs, we do laser scans to the millimeter to have a constant QA/QC between that unique stair, compare it with the design stair to make sure what's being built is exactly what's being designed. Architects love that because we're preserving the design intent. And that's one of the main rules of a good builder. You know, a good builder, when you go to the site and try to follow any rule. A good builder is what really, when the architect design a building, they preserve the design intent and they make it exactly as design.
Very good. I like that. Amr, what current pain points exist that you are maybe exploring ideas for or haven't yet found a good solution for?
The main actually pain point we have in the industry right now, and I believe this is not only Windover, is finding talent. Finding the talent. We are hiring, and it's really challenging to find the folks with not only the skill sets or the will to learn something new every 6 months. In VDC world, you need to learn something new 6 months. It's not like things you learned at school and then you're going to have that job for another 20, 30 years. We want folks who have passion for what they do. And it's been challenging to find the talent. If someone is passionate, they don't want to learn every 6 months new things. If someone has the skill sets, they don't have the passion. So that's it challenging. And one of the ways we do that at Windover is we go to schools, different schools, and we do presentations, tell the future generations that, hey, construction is fun. We use 3D printers, we use drones, we use VR headsets. So it's really fun to join the construction industry. And my colleagues do the same thing. We go and let them know. We take even the VR stuff. We show them drones so they get excited about it. So that's the biggest challenge I see. We need that feed of talented, passionate folks who wants to build. Otherwise, we're going to be in a really big problem.
Are you talking white collar or blue collar? There's a problem with.
I'm not talking about any specific. I'm talking about everybody from the skilled carpenters who can really build. It's beautiful. You know, you are as good as all the field team, project management, supers, and in my part, because I'm responsible for innovation, is to find someone who is willing to join a VDC team. There are folks, but where's the passion? Where is one of the things that make us successful and at the forefront of doing all this leading edge technology, and people come and say, can you solve this problem? Is that we stay ahead with innovative technology. And one of the reasons we use that is we learn something new all the time. So you don't necessarily have the folks who are really excited about learning something new all the time. Like what you learned today. We're doing now things that last year I didn't even know it exists. Okay? Technologies and using tools and technologies. We do a lot in-house with GBRs and with all different things to combine for solution. And next year, we're going to do things that we're not doing now. So it's really about folks with the mindset, talented with a mindset that's looking to adapt quickly and learning new things all the time. It's really hard to find those folks. We have it in our team, and we're looking to make it even bigger. And you just want to make sure you combine that, of course, with a good culture, because it's all about the culture, the respect, the integrity, which is a big part, which a lot of folks has it. Just that passion of learning something new that's harder to find. So I think that's the biggest challenge we have in our industry.
I love it. Amir, could you tell us, perhaps, you mentioned earlier, four things maybe, that innovation is an improvement on cost, time, quality, and safety, perhaps, right? So could you give us, do you have any case studies or specific metrics, KPIs, whatever they might be, of outcomes of technology that you have implemented?
You are bringing up a great point, Owen. For years, I was joined a workshop, was speaking in the Netherlands last year in geospatial world about that, about return on investment for innovation. So I'm going to give you one example. It's a standard for us. We do a lot of senior housing and multifamily and affordable housing to tackle the challenge of the shortage of affordable housing in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. We do a lot of affordable housing and beautiful buildings with a quality. And when I say affordable, it's a combination between quality and making it efficient. So efficiency comes when you build it at the first place, build it in an efficient manner. So after we do all the plumbing for the underground on a larger site, a 13-acre site or something, then you have pipes, risers coming from the ground. So what we do is that we laser scan it or a drone survey it with ground control point with LiDAR to capture to the 2 to 3 millimeter where these pipes, underground pipes are. And we do a quality control overlay between the first floor plan and those pipes to ensure every pipe is not going to miss a wall, is not going to miss a toilet or a sink before pouring concrete. Because once you pour concrete, you're going to have a hammer jack and it's going to be a mess. It's going to have delays in the schedule and cost. So if you find 13 of them, that already paid for half of your laser scanner cost, basically. So it's a standard for us. And we find some of these because it's normal and we still communicate that in real time, what it takes. A laser scan for an hour or 2 hours on site, process it in Autodesk Recap or something, give this QC quality control overlay for the plumber and the field team on site in the same day. They move things before pouring concrete, ensuring that every pipe in the underground will meet its intended location on the first floor. That's a huge saving. So that's example of how it's time saving and cost. And time is money too.
So yeah, I love it.
2-3 millimeters of accuracy. Is it so I came across like Leica RTC360, I think, in the past, but that's, I think, around 10 mil accuracy. So
we use Faro laser scanners, Faro S, and we use Faro laser scanners. One of the things I like, it's not a commercial for Faro or by any means, but one of the things I like it in New England, we have a lot of snow and cold weather. So sometimes when you use the Faro scanners, it's really stand for the cold. Like we used it in like under freezing scan buildings in the very hot weather. The accuracy, we send it to get calibrated, I think in Pennsylvania every year, it is our scanners. We also have, so that's ground scanner. With ground control points, we use a LiDAR payload to scan buildings. We have a beautiful building in Connecticut, I think 25-acre site, senior housing. And no way you would scan this with a ground. It's going to take you a week and with the bushes and all, it's really hard. It's a huge site.
Okay.
So what we do is that we invested in the drones with payload LiDAR, which can capture all these data within an hour or two. And then it goes to the same workflow. So we sometimes use the ground laser scanners when it makes sense for the other ones, but yeah, we use Faro.
Okay. So, do you find yourself sometimes working on like repetitive tasks? Sorry, not you, but obviously the construction, the folks who are building on sites. How do you look at the ROI of using new technologies for non-repetitive tasks and repetitive tasks on site? I don't know if you can classify it this way, but if you can shed some light on this.
So sometimes we think it's not going to be repetitive. So when we did, there was a 120-year-old building north of Boston and it was deteriorating. It was done by hand. Beautiful details of a facade, historic facade. And when we did the laser scan for it and did the create exact replicas with a mix of 3D additive manufacturing, large beds of big rep, 3D printer at Autodesk, and we did the replica. We did also 5-axis work, beautiful rosettes done by hand 100 years ago. We would create replicas of it. We thought that's going to be a one-time thing, and we're not going to do this facade again. But when we show that example to future clients, they say, oh, I want that in my facade. So sometimes you develop a technology and it works and it's a success. We, by the way, everything we do like this, we get a quote of how to do it traditional method because we want this data to see how successful. We did it with 50% less as well as very good quality because additive manufacturing takes is a 2-3 millimeters scan data we talked about, and it carry over this accuracy to create the replica in additive manufacturing. With a additive manufacturing 3D printer, it can print it to really small pens, other than the traditional methods, which we don't necessarily need to discuss. But that's an example of providing high quality, high accuracy with less. Or even if it end up with the same amount of money, still quality is the most important thing. So sometimes you think that it's a one-time project, it's not going to be repeated, but when it becomes a success, we repeat it, and that was a surprise for us. We did it later on 2 projects. One of them is now beautiful landmark project we're finishing. We're doing the same methodology, replicating historic facade elements or historic interior elements. So even our project right now that we just finished and it was launched beautifully, great success at Jitex Dubai, which is the automated plan review system with BAM AI enabled BAM. We have interest now from other municipalities to repeat the experience and to do it again, because it's a universal solution that could solve a lot of problems for municipal workflows. And we're making even a one ecosystem with extended reality to ensure what gets permitted is get still reviewed with XR along the way until the end. So I feel that all the technologies we have, all the innovative solutions that was developed so far had an opportunity to be repeat itself in other projects for a different client, a different project with a similar challenge.
Okay. And do you often work with startups, or mostly you work with more established companies providing technologies?
Both. We have worked with the startups in the past to help develop automation, robotics, to do autonomous laser scan. It's a combination for both. We really care about the big ideas and how we make it happen together. One of the great things, Martin, you bring up a great point. One of the great things we can really push our industry forward is not by a builder like a Windover innovative builder by themselves, or a software developer by themselves, or a robotic developer. No, it's really about collective effort of how we work together. One of the things we do at Autodesk Tech Center, and we're residents there, it's a hub for innovation. Over there, we built the collaborations with universities, with software developers, with mixed reality developers, such as Hologram or Twin Build in Australia. We go places like we built a collaboration with a mixed reality developer in Melbourne called Hologram Twin Build, and we applied that on one of our projects to provide value. So we work. It's about not who you are. It's about the big idea and the shared value that we want to provide, push the industry forward together.
Mm-hmm. Have you got any advice for startup founders who are advancing technologies within construction tech? What they can do better when they are trying to work with folks like you?
Two things that I would advise on. The first one is start small. Start your solution to solve in a smaller project, and then you're going to learn a lot about it, and the next is going to grow unlimited. The second one is really to not to develop a solution and wait for a problem to solve. It's actually listen to the problems that's happening on job sites and with clients, and then think about it, take your time, develop the solution that's going to be powerful and solve that problem. That's the biggest advice, because innovation is all about solving problems or solving problems, problem solving.
Mm-hmm. Very good. I have one last question, and it will be, Amr, whether you have any hot takes. So I feel like it's a really lame question, but is there any kind of technology that you've come across, assessed, and you thought, actually, you know what, I'm not a massive fan of this?
I am always fascinated with new ideas myself, really. I never heard about something new and I said, oh, I'm not going to try it. I always love the idea of implementing new technologies. Maybe I don't do it right away. So what I would do, I said, maybe in a couple months, not right now, because when the opportunity arises and there is a challenge that we're going to use it for. But I always keep it in my mind that we're going to use this technology, but when the time permits. We actually have few ideas that's going on right now with partners that we're going to wait for the right projects, like a modular project, to compare between different things. So yeah, I think it's always good to come to the to the job site specifically with an open mind that as long as we use technology to solve the problems, we can. All options are open for using technology, and everybody's working hard in the industry. I expect innovation to really spread even more in the industry because this is one of the industries that really need the most to. Especially also in safety. It doesn't make sense that people get hurt in job sites anymore. We should use automation, AI, computer vision to solve these problems. Even our QC processes, which we use right now with drones and laser scanners, help mitigate risk and remove surprises on job sites. Even 4D planning, we build a lot on occupied campuses, and safety is the most important thing for us. And on day one, we do 4D planning to communicate with the community. This is a fence lines that's going to move throughout the different phases to ensure safety planning. So these things help with the safety. So yeah.
Very good. All right. Last one for me, very light one, is in your previous life as an architect, what was the thickest pane that you designed when designing the aquariums?
So I had so much fun working with Peter on aquariums. It's a really fun buildings. You work on beautiful, huge tanks that has those species. I learned a lot about marine life back then. I actually did my master in architecture in aquarium design. I thought I'm gonna design aquariums for the rest of my life. My master degree in architecture, my thesis at the BEC is all about aquarium. It was a prefab aquarium that, believe it or not, prefab too. And I am now working with Windover on all the prefab. So it's really a close thing to my heart. I designed an aquarium that could go to the Amazonas, adapt with all the different structures, designed an aquarium that could go to Genoa area with the Mediterranean Sea and go under the water and show the beauty of the Mediterranean Sea. I had so much fun working on aquariums because it's a combination of love and stewardship for the environment. Aquariums is more than just a fish tank and people entertainment people. It's really about the stewardship and the increased awareness of taking good care of our environment and our future and all the oceans. So I learned a lot about that. I would love to build with Windover an aquarium sometime soon. But I didn't have any pains. It was a great learning curve for me that really formed the way I do. And
oh,
think of
sorry.
things.
By the paints, I meant like what's the thickest glass that you designed?
I think I'm going to get back to you on that. I don't have it on the top of my head, but
because they seem sometimes very thick, like, I don't know, 100 mil glass that
yes,
like, from the engineering point of view,
Correct.
seems quite amazing.
Yeah, the acrylic. And we used the BIM back then. We used the Revit. It was very new back then. And we started to create all these Revit models of the acrylic and life support systems in the back. One of my favorite projects is the New England Aquarium in Baltimore edition. It's the Australia exhibit of Australia. It's beautiful. I encourage anyone who visits the Inner Harbor in Baltimore to visit it. Peter Shermayev did a wonderful job designing that, and I had the pleasure working on this. It's amazing projects, and we keep building amazing, beautiful things at Windover with our clients, with great labs, great schools. Not as fast as the aquariums, but looking forward to build one.
Cool. All right, Amr, thank you so much for joining us. Could you tell people where they can find out more about you?
Well, I'm on LinkedIn. You can also reach to Windover, our website. I also I got invited to speak a lot this year in so many events.
Good.
Geospatial World in Madrid, I go to the very different events around the United States. So I always love to meet new friends and connect with folks, and together we can build partnerships and move our industry forward.
Very good.
Navy SEAL of construction
There
teams.
we go. Setting the standards.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amr.
Thank you.